Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. It's the brother Haran coming back at you with another video. Lord willing to be edifying unto the elect. All right, and today's title will be, What is Cultivation Theory? Okay. What is cultivation theory? And I mentioned this earlier in the video that I did. All right, but I want to, do a separate lesson on that. All right, because it's a perfect explanation. All right, to the things that's happening around the world. You got friends. You got family members. You got people, regular people in society. All right, who believe. All right, or at least their minds have been bought into thinking that there's actually a scary, monstrous disease out there that's killing thousands and millions of people, and we all need to wear masks to protect ourselves from this deadly, scary boogeyman virus. Okay, and the reality is there is no such thing. Okay, you suffer from the regular flu, but because Esau has titled it as COVID, which COVID is not a disease. COVID is not a virus, neither is it a disease. The word COVID, all right, it's actually an acronym, all right, which means Certificate of Vaccination Identification, and then -19. Okay, because that project started in 2019. Okay, so that's what COVID stands for, COVID-19. That's why they told you that it's gonna go from COVID-19 to COVID-21 to 22, 23. All right. Any reasonable person who has a brain in their head will look at these things and say, hold up, this COVID thing, this COVID, all right, that's killing thousands of people, and because of that, we need to be forced to have a vaccine in our system. All right, if not, we can't go back to quote unquote normal. All right, what is the truth behind this thing? Because when I watch the TV, it seems like this COVID thing is only real when I watch TV. You listen to the news and you watch TV. That's where COVID is at. That's where you've seen all these astronomical numbers. All right, but when you go outside into the real world, all right, which is also kind of fake, but when you go into the real world, which is outside of the TV or outside your virtual world, all right, you unplug yourself out of the matrix every once in a while, you actually see regular people. Most of us we still got our family members. We probably don't care about them. We don't want to be around them. But, just for example's sake, you got family members, you have friends, you have people that you might work with, people that you have as, schoolmates, classmates, and so on and so forth. And the only thing that's changed is they just wear a mask. That's the only thing that's changed in their lives. Nobody's dying. Nobody's being hospitalized because they can't live and they can't survive. And even if you catch the so-called virus, it's a flu, your body's going to heal. You're going to be fine. You take your remedies. Okay. You don't go to the hospital and say, oh, let me get a vaccine to stop this virus that I got. They tell you quarantine and then it goes away, But let's get into cultivation theory. Okay. Because that's what this is all about. All right. Now it says the cultivation theory, all right, suggests that people who are exposed regularly to media over long periods of time perceive the world's social realities as presented on media, and it affects the audience's attitudes and behaviors. Okay, so real life is a different thing compared to virtual reality. All right, your phone is virtual reality. Everything you have on your phone is not real. The things that you see on your phone is not real because you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. Okay, you can see it. All right, so it's appeasing to only one sense. You can touch your phone, but the content within that phone, you can't do anything with it. You can compute it with your mind, you can process it, of course, and then it forms that false reality. All right, and then it helps you look at the world as what you see on TV. I remember growing up, our pops, he didn't allow us to watch TV. It was a thing. Get to watch TV in the house was a big deal. We get to watch, I believe it was an hour a day of TV, if that. Probably on the weekends or some shit, probably Saturday or Friday, you probably watch the news, or you probably watch some cartoons, for a little bit. but he never allowed us to be watching all these different shows and, you know, all these different things, you know, to the point where today you got people who ask me like, oh, do you remember that show when we were kids? I'd be like, nah, I didn't watch that. He'd be like, damn, you didn't have a childhood. And I say to myself, man, the things that I was doing as a child were life lessons that I was learning, you know, the things that actually mattered in real life. I was actually doing things outside. I was engaging in things that will help me now, you know. But meanwhile, you're sitting behind your computer or your TV thinking that you're watching the most fun things ever. Meanwhile, it's all it's deceiving your perception of reality, man. Okay, that's why they were able to manage to have the whole world on lockdown, okay, over a damn virus that has a recovery rate of 99.9%. You know, but they've crippled the economy. Okay, you can't go outside without wearing a mask. You go into any facility whatsoever, have your mask even to your nose to breathe. They say, excuse me, sir, can you pull your mask all the way up to your nose, please? Like, that's gonna make a difference. You have your mask all the way over your nose. Why I gotta put my mask all the way over my nose? You know, you actually have people, you could be walking in the street and you have somebody walking towards you in your direction, and they'll either stop or they'll move all out the way, like walk on the freaking grass over to the park underneath the trees all the way through the forest, and then come right back behind you to walk back in the pavement again. That's how crazy they've gotten people to actually believe this thing, man. You know, all thanks to media. Okay, all thanks to the television and the media, man. Okay, it says cultivation theory was founded by George Gerbner in the 1960s. Okay, in the 1960s is when they started having this whole the CIA creating concepts such as quote unquote conspiracy theories or conspiracy theorists. Okay, the FBI was working with a lot of these so-called news agents and TV directors, okay, to infiltrate and to provide them with how to manipulate the people's minds, ultimately something known as mind control. Okay, they infiltrate with even the video games. All right, one of the biggest example would be Call of Duty. All right, Call of Duty is literally even the director said that they have FBI agents, all right, who come into the development session and they feed them with information. You know, how do you think they get all that information, has such accurate detail with war tactics and certain war lingo? Okay, certain you know, they able to predict certain things. You know, you play Call of Duty, you be like, oh shit, they're talking about the France bombing and, you know, so on and so forth. And it actually happens in real life years later down the line. Okay, because they work with the governments, okay, to infiltrate your minds. All right. Let me get that, pull it right back. All right, going back to it. It says oh, there you go, 1960. It says, at first, cultivation theory began as a way to test the impact that all this television viewing had on viewers, particularly with regard to violence. The primary proposition of cultivation theory states that the more time people spend living in the television world, the more likely they are to believe social reality aligns with reality portrayed on television. Okay, that's why I believe it was Richie from Boston, if I'm not mistaken. All right, he in one of his videos, one of his latest videos, he was saying that he ran across you know, these Amish people, and he asked them like, yo, how come COVID is not affecting your communities? He said, because we don't have TVs, we don't watch TV. You know, COVID is only effective if you watch TV. You know, it's incredible, man. It says the images and ideological messages transmitted through popular television media heavily influence perceptions of the real world. Okay, the real world. All right, it says the media. It says the more media is consumed, the more the perceptions of people is thought to change. All right, this leads to the idea of the mean world syndrome. All right, which refers to the idea that long-term exposure of violent media will lead to a distorted view that the world seems more violent than it actually is, and that is a fact. Okay, as I was doing research, all right, there was an example that they gave, all right, that this kid, all right, he was watching shows like NCIS, these detective shows and so on and so forth, all right, and on a survey he fell under the 86, he fell above, was it 86% of people who believed that the world was actually very dangerous, number one, and number two, it's easier for you to be a victim of crime. Okay, why? Because he's always constantly watching shows that have to do with crime and violence. So his perception of the world is a dangerous world filled with crime and violence. Okay, so if your ideas, all right, your ideas are not original and they come from what you see on TV, guess what? You've been programmed. That's why it's called television program. All right, telling your vision. Okay, they're telling lies to your vision, number one, and you're being programmed. Okay, television program. All right, they're talking to your vision. All right, it says cultivation theory was founded by George Gerbner and was later expanded upon by George Gerbner and Larry Gross, and is positivistic, meaning it assumes the existence of objective reality and value neutral research. A study conducted by Jennings Bryant and Dorina Myron in 2004, which surveyed almost 2,000 articles published in 3 top mass communication journals since 1956, found that cultivation theory was the 3rd most frequently utilized theory, showing that it continues to be one of the most popular theories in mass communication research. Okay, now mass communication or mass media simply means middle grounds for the masses. Okay, medium, all right, media, going back to the word medium, which is to be in the middle, all right, and being that it's a way that these elites communicate with the rest of the world, it's known as media because it's not just one avenue, all right, that they use to communicate between them and the people. You have the television, you have the radio, you have video games, okay, you have a podcast, you have magazines, okay, and so on and so forth, man, newspapers and so on and so forth. All right, so these are all things that will fall under the category of media, all right, plural form of medium, okay, in this sense of control and communication and so on and so forth. All right, now let's go down a little bit. All right, it says here, television is fundamentally different from other forms of mass media. Okay, it says, no, actually, we're not going to read that. Let's jump down to here. It says, television shapes our society's way of thinking and relating. All right. Gerbner and Gross write that the substance of the consciousness cultivated by TV is not so much specific attitudes and opinions as more basic assumptions about the facts of life and standards of judgment on which conclusions are based. Okay. Simply put, the realities created by television are not based on real facts. You hear this? Simply put, the realities created by television are not based on real facts, but on speculation. Okay? Hey, I uploaded a video a few days ago, Fox News, Tucker Carlson, and he was saying it. And as he was speaking, he said, look, don't believe the media. Don't believe us. And this is quotes from him. He said, don't believe us and what we're saying. You see what I'm saying? So if a news anchor can open his mouth and say this to you, but yet you got people who watch them and believe every word they say, I don't know what to tell you. We don't know what to tell you. Okay? You literally fit that description in the scripture that says they have a strong delusion. Okay? You have a strong delusion, man. Anyone who believes that there's actually a monster virus out there called COVID-19, just the name alone, you believe it, all right? And it's out there killing people, and if you get it, you're gonna die, and oh my goodness, and this, you're gone. Okay, you're gone. All right, you're in the strong delusion. All right, it says according to James Shanahan, all right, and Vicky Jones, television is the dominant medium for distributing messages from cultural, social, and economic elites. All right. cultivation is more than just an analysis of effects from specific medium. It is an analysis of the institution of television and its social role. Okay, so the whole concept of social distancing, stand 6 feet apart, wear your mask, all these different things. If the whole world was to shut down the TV, what will happen? There'll be no fear whatsoever. There'll be no so-called COVID-19 virus pandemic, people, thousands of people testing positive every day. Okay, thousands of people dying. They don't even know what to do. The hospitals are filled up. And when this thing popped off, all right, I believe back in March, April, around there when things got locked down, hey, you even had an elder apostle, a Rhyme Love and other apostle Gabor was going into some of these hospitals and it was empty, man. You had parking lots that were empty. You had dudes going in there, going into the hospitals, being like, where are all the COVID patients at? Where are they at? You know, exposing the hell out of these lies, man. You know? But yeah, you still got people. Oh my goodness, COVID. Oh, they see you walking in the aisle. Okay, when you shopping in the aisle, they got all these little signs. They show you the direction, how to walk, where to walk. Man, I be walking right through that shit. Like, man, fuck you, man. You know, I ain't got time for this madness. You think, man, you know, you put your mask on. Like, man, that thing infuriates me, man. You know, but it goes to show you, man, we at the end of this thing, man. For the world to actually believe this madness, you know, wash your hands, use your hand sanitizers. Oh, this, oh, that. Bro, so it says what? It is the dominant medium for distributing messages from cultural, social, and economic elites. Okay, so for a prime example will be the World Economic Forum. All right, they've told you what COVID-19 is all about and what they intend to use it for. They talked about something called the global reset. All right, global reset. All right, meaning another word, the 2020 version of saying new world order. Okay, they had the solution, which is exactly what they're trying to do with the vaccine and ultimately the RFID chip. That has always been the solution. Okay, but they had to find a reaction that will fit that solution. And the perfect problem was COVID-19. Okay, going back to the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution, otherwise known as thesis, okay, which is the problem, antithesis, which is the solution, and synthesis, the reaction. The reaction is the antithesis, and then the solution is the synthesis. Okay, so now they got everyone quote unquote clamoring, and now Cuomo coming out talking about he needs to fight for the less fortunate people, which in this case is going to be so-called blacks and brown people, and they're the ones who are going to be first in line to take that vaccine. And he made a key point. He said, we're not going to make the same mistake again. He said, we're not going to make the same mistake twice. He's not going to make that same mistake again. What mistake is he talking about? We're going to find out. You know, whatever mistake he was talking about, we are going to find out. All right. It says, okay, let's see. Right, it says cultivation theory doesn't predict what we will do after watching a violent television program, but rather posits a connection between our worry and fear about a violence-filled world and exposure to violent programming on television. Okay, so here we have certain steps that they take, okay, in order to use or cultivate people's minds. All right, fashion their minds into how they want you to think. Okay, they have several steps. They have the message system analysis. Okay, which is basically the first step, which it says is a strategy, all right, known as message system analysis, which has been used, all right, since 1967, all right, to track most stable and recurrent images in media content. Okay. It says it not only tracks the perceived awareness of an individual about what he or she is viewing on television, but also represents the ongoing collective messages shown on television that shape larger community impressions over an extended period of time. Okay, So over an extended period of time, if you're constantly being told that there's a monster virus out there that's killing millions and millions of people, and for you to protect yourself, you have to wear a mask, you have to stand 6 feet apart from each other, you can't have no more family gatherings, you can't breathe, you can't sweat, you can't shit, you can't eat, okay? You can't live, you can't go outside, all right? You can't see people, you can't look people in the eye anymore because this virus can transfer, it can go from eye to eye. It can affect your eyeballs. You look at somebody wrong, COVID. You know, you sleep and you wake up a certain COVID. You having back pains, COVID. Oh, you coughing, you sneeze, that's definitely COVID. What? You know, and they constantly show you these things. What you gonna do? You actually gonna believe that it's actually COVID. Meanwhile, you're perfectly fine. You probably sniffed, you know, dirt, you know, and then, oh man, then, you know, you sneeze. Somebody looking at you go, oh, COVID, there we go. You know, your perception has been deceived. All right, this is the greatest deception I've ever seen in my life. Probably the greatest in history, man. You sort of got the whole world in a trick bag. And only a few can see right through the smoke screen. That few is known as the elect. Right, the Lord has given us the eyes to see, the ears to hear, right, and the heart to understand, meaning the mind to understand these things. Okay? We have all the secrets to all these things that's happening. Why? Because the Lord has given us the keys in the scriptures, all right, and given us the understanding how to use these scriptures, how to understand these scriptures, and to match it with the current day events. Okay, the step 2 says questions regarding viewers' social realities. It said the second part of this process focuses on people's feelings about their day-to-day lives to gain a larger understanding of how they perceive their realities. Okay, that's why somebody could stay on Instagram and scroll for hours. All right, double tapping and scrolling on unnecessary shit that doesn't even matter. Okay, and what do? They look at those algorithms, and the more you look at certain information on Instagram or these social media platforms, the more they send you similar things. So if you like watching TikTok videos of females doing dumb shit, they'll send you more of that. You know, if you want to see people working out, they'll send you more of that. If you want to see food, they'll send you more of that. You know, if you want to see things about nature, they'll send you more of that. So anything that you're watching is being tracked. How long are you watching it for? How many seconds did this person click on this picture to look at it? How many seconds did they watch this video? How many times did they share this video? Did they like it? Did they save it? You know, did they copy the link and send it to somebody else? Did they comment on it? You know, did they post? What do they post? All these different things are what? They're using it to shape your reality. So even though it's not real, all right, you're looking at it like it's real. I literally know people who get depressed, especially the women. They get depressed over things that they see on social media. Ain't that some shit? That's a sad thing. If you'd have told anyone 20 years ago that it's going to come a time where people are actually going to look on their phones and that's going to be their real life. Hey, man, hey, no wonder why the prophets of old were crying, man. They were freaking out. Like, what the you know, this the world we're going to be living in? Man, Yahushua, you got to come quick. We got to get out of here. You know? It says findings from the message system analysis process guide researchers to formulate questions about social reality for the subjects of a study. In this case, television viewers. Okay. Then the next step is surveying the audience. The next step is cultivation differential, which is going to go into, you know, how they're able to influence the male perspective, how they're able to influence the female perspective, you know, the child's perspective, all these different things, you know. So, hey, man, if me personally, if I had a son or a daughter, they're not getting a TV in the house, point blank, period. Especially in this day and age, because everything they're going to be seeing on their TV, whether it's cartoons that they're watching, is all going to be a whole bunch of sodomite things, a whole bunch of abominations like, oh, yeah, transgender parents and same-sex parents and so on and so forth, man. You know? And at this point, they even got cartoons that portray the mark of the beast. I forget the name of the cartoon, but brothers a few months ago was posting it on YouTube, all right? And it goes into something called the smart mark, all right? And that's a cartoon for children to be watching. So they're seeing these things, all right? It's feeding straight into their subconscious mind, okay? Because whatever goes into the subconscious is not guarded, okay? It sneaks into you. Conscious, that means you have an ability to think about it. You have a reason. You can formulate your own ideas or your opinions on it. Okay. And based on research that Esau has done, we are able to perceive about only 10% of our daily activities. So from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, that's only 10% of what actually happened. So the rest, the 90% that might have sneaked into your subconscious mind, what about that? You know, the things that you didn't see, or maybe you saw but you didn't process as seeing. Your eyes saw it, but your mind didn't see it. What about that? What about the things that you hear? You know, because there's a lot of noise that you hear. Every single day that we go outside, there's so many different noises. It's called a cacophony. Okay, a cacophony is a whole bunch of different noises, okay, that you hear, but you can't really hear what's happening. It's just noise. You know, you hear people talking, you hear cars driving, you hear planes flying, you hear trains running around, all simultaneously. Your brain can't process all of it at once. All that shit feeds into your subconscious mind. And then Esau understands this, and then he shows you this in the movies. That's why somebody could watch a movie, all right, and then the same thing or similar things happen in real life, and then they're triggered to act like how they saw the characters acting on the TV. You know, if you keep watching TV and then you see, like, for example, The Purge, and you hear the siren in The Purge, how the people acted is how you're most likely going to act. You're going to probably look outside and see if people are doing the same thing you're doing. You don't want to look too crazy doing it, you know? Yo, this thing is Esau, man. That's why it says he performs miracles, man. The miracles, part of the miracles is this, using the media, okay? Mainstream media, okay? So that's pretty much it, man. You know, cultivation theory. Okay, the ability for Esau to use, all right, or cultivate your mind, all right, by using medium, all right, or media, all right, various forms of media with the television, the radio, the video games, the newspapers, all right, the magazines, and so on and so forth, to distort your perception of reality. Okay, so you tend to believe that whatever is going on in the TV world is actually what's happening in the real world, which is completely false. All right, because TV is all something that's directed, is fabricated, is created, all right, for your quote unquote entertainment purposes. All right. So that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end it off there. Lord willing, you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. But before I do that, hold on a second. Let me bring out one quick precept. All right. Salakia about that. All right. Yeah. Okay, scriptures talk about how they had power to perform miracles. All right. Hold on a second. This is a book of Revelation chapter 13 verse 14. It says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth, all right, by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live." Okay, so the point is them having the ability to perform miracles. Okay, another precept, Revelation 16 verse 14 says, "For they are the spirits of devils, okay, working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, all right, to gather them to the battle of that great day of the Most High Almighty." Okay. Revelation 19 verse 20 says, "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles, okay, before him, and it says with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone." Okay, and that false prophet is talking about the Vatican. Okay, and that miracles that they're going to do is what the lies that they're going to use with the media to persuade you into thinking that that's actually real, and that you actually need a vaccine to live. You actually need an RFID microchip in you to function as a proper human being in society. Can you imagine that? We've had thousands of years of history as humanity, and then all of a sudden, 1 year, 2020, they decided, you know what? All the stuff that we've done in our past doesn't matter no more. We about to take a great leap forward. It's going to be known as a great reset. And we're going to create a whole new world of greatness. Are you with us? Well, guess what? You're not going to own anything and you're going to be happy. Are you with that? Oh, by the way, you're going to be chipped. We're going to own you. We're going to have all your records, your medical records. You can't buy or sell unless you have this chip in you. Okay? You can't go anywhere unless we tell you you can and cannot go. You want to engage in certain intimate activities? Well, guess what? That's against the law. Because what are you going to do? You're going to produce. Okay, you're going to be fruitful and multiply. And that means that you're going to be adhering to the laws of the Most High. We can't allow that. In this wicked society, this satanic world that we're creating, there's no such thing as righteousness. We will kill you. As a matter of fact, we will behead you if you dare to speak up against this beast. We will behead you if you dare to worship anything else but the beast. Yes, this is the world that we're coming into. This is your new reality. Whether you like it or not, this is where we're headed to. All right, and that's why Yahushua said what? Lest the days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, all right, the days are going to be shortened, man. Okay, for the elect's sake. All right. So now I'm going to end it off here. Lord willing, you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh. The Wadi Yah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.